Howdy, brothers and sisters out there in YouTube land. This here is Grateful Panic, and I've got another video for you guys today. And today, we are going to be looking at a very, very special knife. And this is our good friend and family member, Secret Agent BH's number 44 Buffalo Jack in Northfield trim and autumn gold jig bone. So before we get into that, let's go ahead and dive down into what I carried today. And besides this guy, I carried the Wilson Combat ELC in LMAX, the Barker Knives Ultralight Bushcrafter in CPM 3V, and black canvas micarta handle scales. And my flashlight carry was the Olight S1R Baton Turbo 2. So that leads us into what am I drinking tonight? And tonight I'm drinking on a little Lagunitas Super Cluster Ale, and this is some really tasty stuff here. This is the first time I've tried it. The bottle and tap shop down the street just got this in today, so I figured I'd give it a go, and it's some pretty tasty stuff. But like I've said before, this is a knife review, not a beer review. So I guess that means it's time to get down to the nitty-gritty. The knife of the hour, the knife that we've all been waiting for, or at least the knife that BH and I have been waiting for, the review knife. And like I said, tonight we're going to be taking a look at the Great Eastern Cutlery number 44 Buffalo Jack. And this is an absolute beauty of a knife. But before we get to the meat and taters of this knife, let's go ahead and get the boring stuff out of the way and get some measurements and some weight. And if you'll excuse me just a second, I need to grab my scale because I forgot to grab that. Alrighty. Sorry for all the rustling and bumping and banging. I was digging through my EDC drawers because I forgot where I'd put my scale. But let's go ahead and break out the old trusty measuring tape and get the measurements out of the way. So we have a closed length of right at 3.5 inches. We got a fully open length with the primary blade of 6 3/8 inches. We've got a full blade length on the primary blade of 2 7/8 inches. We have a cutting edge on the primary blade of 2.5 inches. We've got a fully open length on the secondary blade of 5 7/8 inches, a full blade length of 2 3/8 inches, and a cutting edge on this secondary blade of right at 2 1/16 inches. Let's go ahead and get a weight on this guy. And we are looking at 3.1 ounces. So a nice, decent little carry weight on this slip joint here. And that converts to, that's bouncing around 87, 88 grams. So yeah, nice, definitely a nice little easy carry weight on this guy. Not very heavy at all. I mean, it's substantial, but definitely not going to weigh you down. And I really want to thank BH for this opportunity. This was really really cool. Not only the opportunity to carry and review this beautiful knife, but the opportunity to make available such a gorgeous knife to somebody that wasn't able to get one because of where they lived, and that that was really special to me. I thought that was just really really cool, and honestly, that was one of the things that I was hoping would happen when I started this channel, was that there was somebody out there that desired a certain knife and was not able to get it, because of their location, and I would be able to help them with that, because that's my mission as a a YouTuber, I guess you would call me. But mainly I'm a knife guy, and I just want to share my love of knives and help other people, you know, acquire the knives that they want. And part of doing that is reviewing certain knives and giving my opinion on them and telling them whether this is a good knife or not, because I don't want to put my name on something and then somebody buy it and turn around and be like, oh, this is a crap knife. I want to put knives out there that maybe have been out for a while, but there's no fresh perspective on them, and kind of give that fresh perspective for people that are just getting into the knife game, so that they're not looking at a 3-year-old video and saying, well, what, how is that relevant to today? I'm trying to give the relevance of today, and like I said, make available these awesome tools to people that couldn't normally get them, or giving my opinion on these awesome tools so people can make a educated purchase on something they want and wouldn't normally get that fresh educated perspective. Not that I'm highly educated or anything, but just giving my opinion on these knives. But with all that rambling out the way, let's go ahead and dive down into this beauty. And what we're looking at on this guy, this is Northfield trim. And I did a review on the Titty Ute OD Green number 44, but this is a whole different animal. I mean, you've got on the as far as the bolsters go, you've got brass rat-tailed bolsters, and I mean those are just absolutely beautiful. I hope you can see that. I mean that's absolutely gorgeous. You've got brass pins all the way around. You've got a brass bullet shield. You've got a brass chamfered end cap, and I don't know. There we go, with the unexcelled engraving. And the funny thing about this chamfering, this whenever I see this on a knife, it always kind of cracks me up, because that's a big part of my daily job as a machinist. We pretty much put chamfering on everything, and in a daily aspect of it, it's kind of a hassle, because you look at your print and you've got 45-degree chamfer, say 25 thousandths plus or minus. So it's all about tolerances, and you've got to make sure that the chamfer is the right angle and the right depth, which using the tools that we do, you use a Ingersoll, a 90 degree Ingersoll, you're going to get a 45-degree chamfer, but you got to adjust in the offsets for the depth of the chamfer, and it just becomes a hassle. But then you see it on a knife like this, and you're like, oh man, like chamfering can be a thing of beauty. It's not just a hassle. So it's really cool to be in that line of work, and then seeing it applied in a part of your life that you love, such as knives, and you're like, I get where that's important. So that was really cool to me, seeing this on the end cap of this knife. And I really need, let me grab a microfiber cloth real quick, because I know I'm gonna get fingerprints on this mirror finish, and I want to wipe them off. Alrighty. Luckily, my studio is like 6 inches by 7 inches, so I didn't have to go far. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at the primary blade, which is a beautiful, beautiful clip point with a long pull and a cut swedge. And I mean, this clip, it just has such a nice, it's almost a trailing point with the curve it has there, but it just, it doesn't rise above the spine of the knife. But it's, I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. And hopefully you can get a look at this. My camera does not like to focus for some reason. I think it's a hunk of junk. But basically you have the Northfield unexcelled trademark logo right here. You've got Great Eastern Cutlery, Titusville, Pennsylvania on the tang right here. You've got Northfield unexcelled, made in USA on the tang right there. And to me, this is just an absolute gorgeous example of a clip point blade. I don't know what it is, I just love the aesthetics of a clip point blade with that long pull. I just think it's so beautiful. Oh, you can see my beard there. Hey guys, there's my mouth and beard. Yeah, it's Grateful Panic. It's Grateful Panic's beard. Hi guys. Anyway, that was silly. But I absolutely love the beauty of a clip point blade with that long pull. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. And of course, this knife does have half stops. And the walk and talk on this thing, hopefully you can hear it. It's pretty outstanding. Alrighty, so let's get down to the secondary blade, which this is an exciting thing, and I said it in the Titty-Oot video, but this pin blade is absolutely awesome in my opinion, because it's a substantial pin blade. Like, you can actually use it on a lot of other two-blade knives, whether it be Great Eastern Cutlery or Case or other brands. They'll throw a pen knife on there, and it's almost like we're just throwing it on there so we can call it a two-blade knife, and you really can't use it for anything because it's just way too small. But this is an absolute beauty of a pen knife. Like, you can use it like it's a functioning blade. And let's go ahead and get the markings out of the way on this guy, and we've got the model number, which is 441218 on this side, and they've actually changed their tang stamp again. I guess it varies from the Titty-Oot to the Northfield, but they did have the GEC CAR, standing for, of course, Great Eastern Cutlery Carbon, to now this one just says Carbon, which is kind of cool. I like how I do prefer the old Titusville Ironworks tang stamp, but I mean, it's cool how they keep changing it up. So yeah, this is just a gorgeous, gorgeous, highly functioning slip joint. I mean, this is something it's beautiful, but I mean, it's highly usable. The ergonomics on this guy are just absolutely perfect, and I think that the gun stock pattern lends to that, because it narrows here. And bear with me here, because I'm sure most of you guys know, but if there are some out there that don't know, I don't want to be redundant, so I do want to put information out there in case there are people that don't know. But this is called a gun stock pattern because the actual frame of the knife resembles the stock of a rifle. And I think that lends a lot to the ergonomics of this slip joint because, it's fatter down here where it fits into your palm and narrower up here, where you're going to grip down on it. And it's got really, really great ergonomics. And absolutely, I think Secret Agent BH made an excellent choice for his first GEC. I was quite impressed with that because, there's popular patterns out there, but this is a new pattern this year. They just introduced the number 44 in 2018, and it's an absolute gem of a pattern. I think it's one of my favorites. I absolutely love it, along with the American Jack, the Big Jack. I love the jackknives. I'm not a big fan of the moose heads, the Congress. I don't like where the blades come from either end. I like the jackknife style where the blades, the pivots all on the same end. That's my jam right there. And honestly, if when you get down to it, I prefer single blade knives. But this is, I do like it, like the fact that it's a two blade knife or double blade knife, whatever you want to call it, because it's got a really, really nice functional pin blade. So I was really impressed when Secret Agent BH messaged me and was like, "This is the knife I want." I was like, "Oh man, dude, that's a great freaking choice." Like, I mean, you either did your research or you just have the eye for a gorgeous knife, because I mean, that's not what I would expect somebody to choose for their first GEC, because people are constantly pushing, bull noses and number 15 boys knives out there for, oh, this is great for your first GEC. Like, this is a really nice, I guess almost complex, beautiful pattern. And he either did some great research or has a really, really great eye for, nice slip joint knives. And which just, to me, it means he has a great eye for knives in general, because from what I'm gathering, other than maybe, Swiss Army knives, the case knife that he won, the case trapper that he won in the 100 subscriber giveaway was, kind of like, one of his first slip joint knives. And it kind of, from what he said, opened his eyes to American made knives. So to me, from the case trapper to this, I mean, that's some intuition, some, just a really great eye for knives, because to me, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous knife. So of course, this guy right here is going to get the Grateful Panic seal of approval, which, as we know, is 1 3/4 thumbs up. One very dirty thumb up, because my hands just stay dirty. No, it doesn't matter how much I wash them. But yeah, I'm so grateful to Secret Agent BH for this opportunity. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and this is going to be a world traveler, because it is headed to Mr. JB from Big Red EDC from here, and then back to me, and then over to Norway to our good friend and family member, Secret Agent BH. So this is going to be a world traveling GEC, which I think is really, really cool. And I think I've already posted it on Instagram once, but I think I'm going to post it again with maybe some kind of catchy hashtag, because that's all the rage nowadays. And maybe document its little world travel, because I think that's cool as crap. So you know what, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all your comments. Thank you for your support. I've been expecting them for the past couple days, but hopefully within the next day or so, we're gonna be getting some merchandise in for the Grateful Panic family. And when that comes in, I'll show it to you guys and explain a little bit further. And I hope you guys are into that. But other than that, guys, that's about it. Like I said, I thank you for watching, and I appreciate everything you guys do for this family. So with that being said, this is Grateful Panic signing out. Remember, guys, stay alert, stay alive, and hey, how about do something nice for somebody today? Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.